bit of a system that will be coming in and might be a factor in the first quarter. But aside from that, it might alleviate, and then really we'll get back to football at its purest form. Speaking of, coming out onto the field from left to right, that's south to north, are both teams. They didn't waste any time. In fact, Westlake came out on the field first, and they have no inflatable. This is one of the first high schools we've seen, Steve, that does not have an inflatable out there. And then, of course, Westlake has the big bulldog head to our left-hand side. Bowie is in their away white tops, the black bottoms, the black letters, numbers, and red trim, and the black helmets, and now in a full circle on one knee. Both teams in the north end zone, by the way, are going to congregate and in almost a prayer formation come together and wish themselves the best of luck going into this football game. And Westlake coming in again with their white tops, the red tops, the white bottoms, and the white letters, numbers, and blue trim. And we're set and ready to go here from Chaparral Stadium. Steve, there's a lot to be said in this rivalry. It's not so much a rivalry because usually you want to have a little bit more wins on the side of one other team. That happens to be Bowie in this particular instance. They've lost the last 8 in this series. But Westlake coming in at 8-0, 6-0 in district play, 4-0 here at home. Bowie at 4-4, 4-2, and 2-2 away from Berger. Have pretty much now sewn up how the whole landscape of 26-6A is going to play out for the playoffs. So now you have 2 games remaining. What do you want to accomplish if you're Jeff Abels going into this contest?
Well, I designated it to myself playoff primers. And they're great playoff primers because you're talking about playing teams in your district that are in the top 25. You've already seen one in Dripping Springs, and now you get to see 2 before you go into the playoffs. So there's 2 things about that. You'll get the competition. You have to play hard. And I don't even want to really dwell on this. Just get out mistake and injury-free.
Tony Salazar in his second season after taking over from Todd Dodge, 22-1. Not a bad way to start your coaching career.
Well, he had a lot to work with.
I understand there's a lot in the cupboard. He also has an opportunity to win a 4th consecutive district title with a win here tonight, mathematically against Bowie. So there is incentive for Westlake in this football game. The Bowie Bulldogs, of course, have Jeff Abels in his 22nd year at 151-90 in his overall coaching mark, and it's all been as the head coach for the Bowie Bulldogs. And after this, you had mentioned in the top 25, so to speak, the Westlake Chaparrals at number 4 in the state. Bowie will then take on the Lake Travis Cavaliers, who come in at 22. They were kind of unseeded from that perspective. They had been number 11 all the way up until their game last week against Dripping Springs, which they got unseeded by a 24-6 margin against the Tigers, who then went all the way up to number 11. So you have 3 teams essentially in the top 25 of the state of Texas in one district, and Bowie is the odd man out as the 4th team in the district. But nonetheless, there's a lot of math to go through with district. Nothing compared to 25-6A, which is a complete and utter mess. And the only reason I bring that up is because I know people are looking forward to the playoffs,
right?
Which Bowie has an inside advantage and will more than likely go and make it too. Right now, a lot of people are hoping, I'm sure, at least listening to this broadcast, that they don't have to take on the Vandergrift Vipers again to open up bi-district play, the number 5 team in the state. And we'll see how that goes as McNeil plays Stony Point as a big component of that whole dichotomy of how the playoffs could roll out.
Well, what I don't think people understand is how good this small area in bi-district is in the state of Texas. And that's just 6A football. And to have teams, 4 of them in the top 11 that Bowie gets to play is certainly something that gives you an opportunity to be better in the second season.
Westlake won the coin toss, elected to receive. They're going to be doing so in the north end zone to our right. Wayne Elliott is your referee. Umpire is Nick Foreman. Head linesman Ralph Hadley. Line judge is Darren McDaniel. Back judge Julian Alvarez. And again, we're set and ready to go with a temperature around 77 degrees. Humidity skyrocketed, of course, with the impending, again, weather coming in at 89% and the wind about 6 miles per hour. And here is our national anthem. There's a national anthem, and Steve, really quick.
Yes.
One key point for each team going into this football game.
Well, I think I'd like to see Bowie with no turnovers. That is going to be monumental.
How important is it for a quick start?
I think it's always important to have a quick start, but you don't want to start, get 20, 30 yards, and then turn the ball over. You want to maintain as many possessions as you can and play it out. You know, again, I call this a playoff primer. If you're Westlake, I think they just continue to do what they do. They're in the top 5 in the state, and they're with expectations to do 3-4 rounds into the playoffs. So they'll definitely respect Bowie, but they'll get their business done tonight here at home. At least they'll attempt to.
Coach Purdue is giving out the orders here for the special teams as they come out on the field. Magdaleno is going to kick it away from his own 40 again from left to right. There is a bit of a breeze going from right to left the way Magdaleno is facing, which is left to right. We're set and ready to go here again from Chaparral Stadium. Deep to receive for Westlake is Brady Bartley. Got to watch out for him. And Cale Liverpool. And going out and kicking it away, it's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line, brought up, and now middle of field for the 25 to 30, 35, near side sideline to the 40, and still on his feet to the 42-yard line going down. Finally, Bowie Bulldogs coming in and making the play is Stephen Fuqua on the return. First and 10 from their own 42-yard line for the Westlake Chaparrals. Westlake will come out with Reese Wise, the sophomore QB at 6'3", 170, so not a lot of weight to him. But nonetheless, he is a leader in all particular categories here for the Westlake Chaparrals. And now we have a player also down for Westlake, and this is not good news as Reagan Cooper is facing and favoring, his right leg and holding onto his helmet around the 33-yard line on special teams coverage. I didn't even see that, Steve, coming down, and now he is on the ground, and this is the leading tackler and by far one of the best defensive players for Bowie on the ground.
Well, you just got to wait and see. You don't like to see that. Reagan Cooper's been a contributor on special teams. In fact, he had the scoop and score from the punt situation, but it looks like he's walking off, hobbling.
Man. Yeah, well, he's favoring his right leg. And Darren Pittman, the defensive coordinator in his 7th year as the DC, came out there as well. This is going to be a big blow if we cannot find out a way to see whether Reagan Cooper can come back into the mix.
And if it's his knee, I will say this in general. I don't like that the officials don't make these guys put the knee pads on. It is a concern.
Offensive line here for Westlake, again, monstrous. They average 260 across the line, and Wise hands it off. Kaiser tries to find room left-hand side. Doesn't find much. He might find a yard on the play, and they'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The offense now for Westlake, once again, Reagan Street at one wide out, where's number 8 and he is a senior. Again, Jack Kaiser, who sat out against Austin High last week, back in now at number 33, is a senior. Back to pass Wise now, has plenty of time, lobs it deep down the middle of the field, and it will be caught at the 15-yard line and brought down at the 10-yard line. Deep drop pass, and Cole James in on the stop. That's Wilhelm, I believe, on the reception at the 15. And he is now having a long time coming back off the field and holding his right knee. And this is exactly, I know that a lot of the playoff scenarios have kind of been situated in this district.
Right.
This is not the way these two coaches wanted this game to start.
No, not at all.
Wilhelm's the leading receiver for
Right.
the offense and one of the best defenders for Bowie, also with Reagan Cooper.
Yeah, you know, this is part of any sporting event, not just football, baseball, basketball, soccer, you name it. You have unfortunate injuries to players. Hopefully, they're conditioned enough so that they can bounce back.
Wilhelm leading the team in receptions with 27. He has 400 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns. He went 4 catches, 67 and a touch last week against Austin High. And he needs help also getting up on his feet. And he's a towering 6'6", 185 junior. He's still got another year to go to mature, but he needs full help on both sides. He's able to still put a little bit of weight, though, you can tell, on his right leg. But, Steve, this is not a good situation for Wilhelm either.
No, it looked like more of his ankle, his right ankle,
Yep.
what he was grabbing. But you don't like to see injuries of any kind.
I don't want to see any of that.
That's right.
Across the
That's
board.
right.
The rest of the offense here for Westlake, they have a D1 prospect, and actually now he's actually going to Cal, and Tyler Knapp, who's not playing in this game. At left tackle, Richard Gregg moves over from right tackle, where's number 71, 6'5", 265 junior. And now here is a run right-hand side, staying on his feet and going into the end zone for the score. Touchdown, Westlake, the keeper by Reese Wise. And now the Chaparrals very quickly and easily now take the lead in this ball game against Bowie.
Got a 10-yard scamper, kind of a duck and dodge off the right side, D. And as you mentioned, quarterback, keeper for 6.
Spencer Barnett to come out for the extra point. He will knock it through. 11:03 left here in the first quarter, and Westlake summarily goes down the field and scores a touchdown to go up 7-0. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Austin Oaks Hospital offers specialized inpatient and outpatient psychiatric services for adolescents aged 12 to 17 and adults. With a dedicated women's unit, it caters to females seeking psychological support. Our women's inpatient treatment serves ages 18 and above. Adolescent outpatient programs provide evidence-based interventions to prevent hospitalization or aid post-hospitalization transition. The partial hospitalization program offers intensive care with psychiatric visits, multiple daily groups, and family therapy. We provide confidential, no-cost, 24/7 level of care assessments without requiring referrals. Walk-ins are welcome. Learn more at austinoakshospital.com or call 512-440-4800.
Back to business here from Chaparral Stadium. Dee Hanson joined by Steve Foster along the Vype Live Network. Kickoff for the Westlake Chaparrals after the last 10-yard touchdown run by the quarterback, and Reese Wise will be out the back end of the end zone from right to left quite easily. And Spencer Barnett, first team all-district last year, Steve, one of the best kickers across the state of Texas, will send that through more often than not. Now the offense comes out on the field for Bowie, and let's get to those numbers here. As Brandon Pittman is the offensive coordinator in his 17th year. This is a team that's averaging around 27 points per game, and looking for that here tonight. Cruz Tello, the starting quarterback, wears number 6, is the junior out of the shotgun. And now he will hand it off right-hand side, and nothing doing right-hand side on the carry. That from Brandon Thomas, and he is upended for no gain of the play. In fact, he loses a yard, makes it 2nd and 11. The rest of the offense here for the Bowie Bulldogs, Carmine Eli wears number 14. The senior leads the team in receptions with 22. You also have Rowan Wells, the upstart, wearing number 21, a sophomore, leads the team in every other offensive category when it comes to receiving the football. And Casey Montabella, along with Brandon Thomas and Joe Delmark, are your key running backs. And now, running the football on the far side sideline, you have the Bowie Bulldogs able to garner a first down. That's Carmine Eli able to reverse field up the far side sideline and move the chains. But no, I guess he's about a yard short. So he gains 10, makes it 3rd and 1.
He's got the type of bravado you want to go against Westlake.
He does not care who he's playing
Exactly.
It could be the Seattle Seahawks, Steve. He wouldn't care. 2 receivers right, a little movement here from Westlake, and a bad snap back, and Cruz Tello will have to come back on it and pounce on it around the 16-yard line, and massive loss in the play. No flags as well. That'll bring up a punting situation, and just like that, with 10-11 and counting down, Bowie will be forced to punt in a 4th and a mile situation.
Well, see, that's the thing. You didn't want to have the miscues. At least Bowie still retains the ball. They can look to at least punt this ball away, but it's probably going to result in a short field because you have a punter standing on his own 1-yard line.
Polito now from his own 1 will kick it away. Modest pressure, gets it away, out right-hand side, high end over end kick. Hits it around the 42-yard line, takes a reasonable Bulldog bounce, and then stopped at the 47-yard line of Bowie for a 1st and 10 opportunity, already into Bulldog territory.
I thought that they were going to try to let that ball bounce one more time before you take it, but almost at midfield.
So now Reese Wise will have it out of the shotgun with 2 receivers left, 1 right-hand side, and look out to the left, and then bobble the football and nearly lose it. Now a flag comes in as he goes down at around the 45. We'll see what the flag is all about.
Should be a hold. Thrown by the referee there. The one and only Wayne Elliott.
That will be declined by Wayne Elliott, and it'll be about a loss of around 6 on the play.
Right. And as the flag is picked up there, you're right. Maybe a little more than 6.
That's true. 7. 2nd and 17. And now it'll be Wise to get out of the shotgun with 2 receivers left-hand side, 1 and right, and now a man in motion. It'll be a rollout by Wise. Now it'll be a screen pass and incomplete. Nice coverage through there, and very close on the timing of that play by Michael Villarreal of blowing that up.
Yes, but with the guy behind the line of scrimmage, he can actually be tackled as opposed to someone who is downfield. That would have been possibly defensive holding.
9:12 left in the first quarter. It's 3rd and 17 for Wise and company. He's got trips left-hand side, trips right-hand side, 1 left. And now Wise back to pass. No pressure. Lobs it down the middle of the field, and it will be incomplete at the 10-yard line, and no flags coming in. Nice coverage downfield. Derek Neptune, nice to have him back in the bandit position, and that'll bring up 4th and long, and Westlake will be forced to punt the ball away.
So the technique that you saw by Derek Neptune is he didn't look for the ball, but he looked back. He didn't look back for the ball. He looked for when the ball came to the receiver. Then he broke up the pass. That's tough to do.
Carmine Eli has not had an opportunity really to return much of any kind of punt this year. Grady Bartlett, to do the honors from his own 30-yard line, will angle it and then punch it right-hand side. The ball hits at the 27-yard line and actually take a inconsequential roll to the far side sideline at the 29. Bowie's defense making a big stop, and the offense comes back out on the field for their 2nd series to try to garner something and build on a little bit more of what they did in their first round, Steve. And that is they got to 3rd and 1, had an opportunity.
Well, they got to 3rd and reasonable and a poor snap. You have to have execution when you're doing offensive plays, D, clearly.
Matabella, right-hand side out of the shotgun with Tello, gets the handoff left-hand side and doesn't find any really room to run. This is going to be an offense that does anything tonight. They're going to have to gain a little bit more, but this is 3 yards. That's doable.
Well, what you're going to have to do at least
2nd and 7.
Stalemate the defensive line of Westlake. If you don't win, if you can at least get neutral, let your playmakers then be athletic and get that yardage.
Maddox Flint in the middle along with Kate Boning. Got to watch out for them as well. Handoff goes left-hand side, and here's Matabella, lowers the right shoulder. He gets all the way to around the 39-yard line. They get the 37-yard line, and they'll bring them a 3rd and around 3 to go here for Bowie, finding some room on the edges, which you might not normally think of being the case against the Westlake Chaparrals.
Well, no, I actually like the edges.
You like it?
Now, Westlake typically has top-notch defensive ends. You are correct. But the middle is so tough on good defenses to run.
Carmine Eli out right-hand side, 1-2 left-hand side. Here is a fake handoff and then throw out left-hand side is incomplete. Owen Ball, the intended receiver at the 41-yard line on the far side sideline.
He was open.
And he was open, and it would have been enough for a first down. Nice design, and the execution not quite on point to bring up a punting situation for Bowie at 4th and 3 at their own 37 with 8:06 left in the first quarter.
Cruz rushed that a little bit. Now, he was going away from his dominant hand, which is rolling to his right. He came to his left, but there was some pressure, and that made him shoot that ball out to the left side quicker than he wanted.
Here's Polito, nice snap back, gets it away, and it is going to be angled out to the right-hand side and fair caught at the 22-yard line. And that for the Westlake Chaparrals is Grady Bartlett. We did talk to Coach Jeff Abels before the game started, Steve.
Yes.
And I asked him, what are some of the big keys in this game? And, of course, he said the turnovers, which you mentioned before, a good start to the ball game. But he mentioned special teams because he knew that Westlake came into this one with a few blocks on their slate. And so he was worried about blocks going into this one. So far, so good.
Yes.
Here is Wise now, hand off Kaiser, who lowers the right shoulder, and he gets near the 29-yard line. That'll be a gain of almost 5 on the play, make it 6. 2nd and 4 coming up. Kaiser on his way to Army, dedicated to himself down, and a scholarship there. 2 receivers right-hand side, 1 left-hand side, and Wilhelm. Here is a zone read option. Kaiser makes his way up the A gap past the 40, all the way up to the 42-yard line. Well enough for a first down. They'll move the chains, and Westlake with back-to-back runs to Kaiser.
Well, the offensive line getting a good push up front against that 3-3 stacked of Bowie there and creating that rushing opportunity.
2 receivers left-hand side, 1 out right-hand side. Ball in the middle of the field for the most part. Again, Kaiser with the carry. Finds the edge. He's at midfield. 45-40. Far side sideline. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone. They're going to say it's a score. Touchdown, Westlake.
58 yards from the 42. And that's just pure speed, working on your speed in the offseason and carrying that onto the field. That was a great run. I love making it the foot race that was. I call it the sideline express right there. You see it in full motion.
Here's the extra point. It is going to be up and good with 6:57 left here in the first quarter. Westlake has doubled up Bowie now, 14-0. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Kiefer Sparks Agency is a locally owned boutique real estate brokerage owned by Jennifer Sparks and Natalie Kiefer. KSA provides the highest level of expertise and service by offering in-depth industry knowledge, extensive networks, and resources. Whether buying, selling, or investing in Austin real estate, Jen, Natalie, and the KSA team understand that each client's needs are unique. KSA strives to exceed expectations and will deliver unmatched professionalism and expert negotiation skills. They pride themselves on building strong relationships with their clients that last well beyond the transaction. Visit www.ksarealtors.com.
Westlake Chaparral's call on one of their mainstays, Jack Kaiser, who sat out against Austin High last week, the 5'7" senior who has totaled over 700 yards on the year, has scored his 8th rushing touchdown, that from 58 yards out, to have the Westlake Chaparrals leading now 14-0 here at home. 6:57 left in the first quarter of play against the Bowie Bulldogs, and kicking it away will go about the back end of the end zone from right to left. Steve, this is quintessential Chaparrals. They use the first offensive series that went into the end zone for a score, trying to pass the football primarily, and then they went completely run on their third offensive series and went in for the score.
Well, they got a good push up front. So it allowed for the passing game in the first series. It also allowed for good running lanes on the second. And again, if you get that speed on the outside, make it a foot race.
Here's now Bowie with a 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. They're going to try to run the football out left-hand side. And that will be no gain on the play. Bring up a 2nd down, 6:44 left here in the first quarter. Bowie has fallen in the last 8 games of this series, and looking for their first win since 2014 when they won 19-13. They last met undefeated 2 years ago here, 2021, 35-0 win for Kay Klupnick and company. High snap, here's Tello, and he'll keep it. That was actually the right move, even though he lost yardage on the play. They'll bring up a 3rd and long with a 6:10 clock counting down.
We had a snap, an errant snap in the last series over the quarterback Cruz Tello's head. Their timing messed up because of the high snap. I know you're geeked up a little bit. You're playing the top 5 team in the state, but you have to be on point with the snaps or things get disruptive. And with a good push from the defensive line of the Chaparrals, you get no gains.
Tello with Thomas to his right out of the shotgun. Will play action, roll out left-hand side against the grain, and throw it as he is rolling, and that will be incomplete. Would have lost yards on the play had he held on to it. That's the
I tell you,
silver lining, but it's 4th and 13 now, and again, Bowie will have to punting it away.
You couldn't have held on to it much longer right there. Cruz Tello trying to find someone downfield. Doesn't take the loss, which is great, but really not an opportunity on that far sideline to try to complete that pass.
There's Polito out once again to punt it away. Bartlett around his own 46. No pressure at all, and Polito will shank it out right-hand side. He'll hit the 36, go upfield for the Bulldogs, thankfully, and then touched up at the 42. 1st and 10. Westlake again continues to have great starting field position. If you want to have a back and forth with the Westlake Chaparrals, field position is the first place you need to go to not be down in the hole. And right now you're down 14-0, and they're starting in your own 42.
Yeah, but D, if the punter would have been aware, everybody from Westlake took off. If he would have just run for the first down, they would have never known.
I agree.
They didn't look back once.
This is high school.
Well, but you have to have awareness.
I understand. You're also, I'm just telling you, not everybody has your awareness. Here's Wise now. There's a bit of motion out of the backfield before the ball snapped, and Kaiser was the one. He gets the throw and completion on the far side. They're going to mark him out of bounds at around the 35, which is shy of the first down by about 4 yards. It's now 2nd and 4.
You know, it's funny because you do say it's high school, but these are 6A high school guys that go on to play major college, Heisman trophies, and NFL. be aware. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, if Polito goes on to win a Heisman, you let me know. Stepping up, and now Wise will wind up and go to the end zone, and he will not have it complete.
What I do like about this
coverage downfield and Thomas. And Chaparrals, of course, not shy about going for 6 as often as they possibly can.
Well, that was a great extension of the play by Wise. And that ball was on the money. That was dropped.
Oh, it was a nice throw. It was Heath McAfee to McCree, excuse me, who leads the team in average per carry or per catch. Here is Kaiser. He finds the edge, and he'll be very close to the pylon. He'll get into the end zone. 35 yards out. Jack Kaiser for 6, his second rushing score of the game with 4:59 left here in the first quarter.
Jack Kaiser has some jets. He's not big, but he's quick, and he knows how to get. See, he plays football like I would like someone to be taught. Get to the sideline in the open field and make it a foot race. We did this in elementary school all recess. One guy had the ball. The guy who kept it the longest was the guy who was the fastest, who you couldn't catch.
Here's the extra point. It is up and good by Spencer Bartlett. With 4:59 left here. We'll keep it here. There's a flag on the play. That will go against Westlake, and so we'll re-kick. Bring it back 5 for the first team all-district kicker from a year ago.
Yeah, Kaiser realizes I don't have to get tackled. The idea for me on a Friday night is to run.
I would be, if there's a flag, there's something on his hip that you could pull.
Right.
That'd be great.
Yep.
You back it up to the 15-yard line. Here is the extra point now, and it is up, and it is good, just inside the right upright. 4:59 left. We'll keep it here as the Westlake Chaparrals have blitzed to a 21-0 advantage with under 5 to go here at home.
Well, one thing is
what shocks you in this game so far, Steve, and what doesn't shock you?
How well the Chaparral offensive line is getting a push against the Bowie defensive line. The Bowie defensive line is pretty stout, but again, when you're playing a top 5 team in the state of Texas, you see why they're ranked top 5, because controlling the line of scrimmage, it's the hugest part of football.
The hugest.
The hugest.
That is the biggest maddenism you've ever had in the history of me doing any game with you. But I love it. Because it accentuates.
True.
The whole idea of communication is to get a point across.
Correct.
You did it.
Thank you.
You totally did it.
Thank you. May not have been grammatically correct.
It doesn't matter.
There's somebody in high school going, there's an advanced placement, but that's not what I taught Steven. Well,
when you say hugest, you can't get much bigger than that.
You can't get much bigger than that.
Here's the kickoff for Westlake.
Everything's hugest in Texas anyway.
It is. That's why back into the end zone. It's a touchback at their own 25-yard line. And, again, this is another key component, though, of this game, and has been this way in this series, Steve, is to take these kind of punches from Westlake and still keep your head.
You have to listen.
There's a moment where you're.
They've been good since we woke up.
But what I'm saying is, for Bowie, they got there's a moment of settling in.
Yes.
And that needs to happen on the offensive side, or either one of the sides of the football has to end up happening.
Got to step up.
Here's Tello now, the shotgun. He has Delmark now. He'll hand it off up the middle. There's a flag on the play. Delmark will get it officially to the 26 for a 1-yard gain, but we'll see what the flag is all about.
Could be procedure, but I do not want to guess.
It is.
Looked like illegal substitution.
Yeah, we got the hand on the heart. So.
And he was not there for the national anthem since that is already taken. Well, listen. Right now we have first down again, but it's now first, and it looks like 15 for the Bowie Bulldogs. And Cruz Tello with 3 wide receivers here to the near side. One to the far side. Cruz Tello coming near side, and this pass is caught by Carmine Eli. He's going to get half of that yardage necessary for a first down. And again, a great timing play, pitch and catch there. Tello to Eli right in front of us here. And Now it's second and manageable, 2nd and 8. You'd like to see 6 or 7, but we'll take 8 here against the number 4 team in the state.
This is a team in Westlake that's giving in just under 10 points per game, around 9.5. Here's Tello, rush up the middle, throws it out right-hand side, and good decision down the field and opportunity there. Had to get rid of it a little early, trying to find Wells down the right sideline. And had he not had to get rid of it a little earlier, Wells might have gone for 6.
Yeah, or just a little more air.
A little more air.
To allow Wells to make the adjustment. Listen.
This is a continuing maturation of a quarterback that was run dominating and trying to figure out the passing.
First year, but he's got gems to throw to.
Yep.
And again, as I call this the playoff primer, you're playing top 25 talent, top 5 talent.
Here's Tello now, and will, on a delayed draw, try to find room right-hand side. He cannot on a 3rd and 8. He'll gain nothing on the play near side sideline. They'll bring up 4th and 8. 4:24 and counting down left in this first quarter play. Steve, can I tell you something I'm kind of surprised by? This is a team in Bowie that went to a 14-12 halftime affair against Dripping Springs that also had an opportunity to take a lead in that first half. We'll get to this in a second. Here's Polito. And one hopper just gets it away. He almost got it blocked, and now it'll be filled at the 40-yard line on a fair catch. That from Bartlett. What I was going to get to is Bowie went toe-to-toe with the Tigers, who also went toe-to-toe with Westlake.
Yes.
And had an excellent opportunity actually to knock off Westlake.
Yes.
Had they been able to do so. What's the difference in this first half compared to the first half you saw against Dripping Springs?
When people see the W on the helmet, it's mental.
Okay.
It's more psychological than it is physiological. And
there's a lot more history with these two teams.
Yeah, it's a little bit more in the brain.
Enough.
Yes.
Reese Wise now, the shotgun, will hand it off. Kaiser still in the mix. Stays on his feet, goes up the middle. He's past midfield, breaks inside, near side sideline around the 45-yard line before he is finally brought down by Michael Villarreal. 1st and 10.
Grady Bartlett, number 36 on that one.
And why did Grady Bartlett find such a good hold on the left-hand side?
Because there's a good blocking, like you said.
Okay, very good. Well, aside from the correction, we always have good analysis as well. Here's Reese now, right-hand side, who will keep it left-hand side. And it'll be brought down by none other than number 34, Wyatt Barnes.
Yes.
You know, bring up a 2nd down and around 7 to go.
We're kind of like the Run DMC of play-by-play, and because we can finish each other's sentences in the middle of the song.
Yes, I agree. I concur.
And switch verse.
I concur.
Absolutely.
Wise stays in. And Bartlett will get the carry up the middle. He gets to the 40, and that's about it. So gaining 2 on the play. Kaiser getting a breather. Bring up a 3rd, and it's not 6, by the way. It's around 3rd and 4. There's a flag as well. We'll see what this is all about as the trainers will come out. 2:44 left in the first quarter. And what I have to assume also, Steve, is a seemingly unending first quarter for Bowie. This is not the way they wanted to go.
This is tough. This is tough sledding. You know, the weather a little bit because the footing is not great. I think that led probably to the early training staff coming out for both Bowie and Westlake, unfortunately. But listen, this Westlake team's in the top 5. Dave Campbell's usually gets it right.
But they normally are.
Oh,
the last few instances when Westlake takes on Bowie, I don't chalk that up as a reason why.
Well, but more so mental.
Sure.
Yeah,
I get that.
I think so.
A little bit of movement again here from Westlake, and then they'll throw it out right inside. It's caught at the 35-yard line, 20, and inside, to the 30, inside to the 27-yard line on what is now being a little bit more deceptive here for the Westlake Chaparrals and trying to move the chains and not trying to just go to the straight run. And Nathan Acosta, the backup running back here for Kaiser. also in the mix. Bartlett stays in. 2 receivers left, 1 right-hand side, and here is Wise. Steps up in. He has no pressure. Now he'll just go ahead and run the football. There's a flag on the play. This should be a holding call against Westlake, and Wise will be down at the 21-yard line. Short of the first down, but this should be nullified by a holding call as there's a bit of tackling going on here for the Westlake offensive line.
Well, the good thing about...
And that will be a holding call against the Shaps.
The holding call, D, is it shows that there is upfield penetration by the defensive line of Bowie that Westlake has to hold. Now, you hear there's a hold that can be called on every play. Well, some of them, there's holding because the defensive line has beat that offensive lineman to the quarterback.
Here's Wise again. He has trips left-hand side. He has 1 right-hand side. And Bartlett to his right. Back to pass once again on a 1st and 20. Throws it out left-hand side in the slot. Caught at the 25-yard line. And up to the 23-yard line on a very nice pitch and catch. Well past the original line of scrimmage. Now it's about 2nd and 7 here for Westlake. That Heath McCree, who's having a whale of a game so far.
Well, I was going to say, I think McCree went to a knee. I think he moved up about 7 or 8 yards after he caught that ball on one knee. They allowed that to go, but technically he was down when that knee came down when he caught the ball.
1 minute to go now. 2nd and 6. It's a delayed handoff. And now finding the edges, Bartlett to the 20, to the 15. He has the first down and extra. He'll go all the way down to the 12-yard line. First down and 10 for Westlake. He can obviously get to the 2 for a first down. 49 seconds on the clock.
And I like, just bounce the ball outside, use that speed, pick up what you can.
Now it'll be Wise again out of the shotgun. All 6'3" of him. Hands it off up the middle, and a run by Bartlett gets him to the 5-yard line. 2nd down and around 2 to go here. We'll see where they mark it.
And this is where you miss a guy like Reagan Cooper on that 2nd level.
Yeah, we have not seen number 5 come back into the game here for Bowie, if you're wondering. And now we'll also have the Shaps be resigned to the fact that the clock will run out before they will get another playoff here in the first quarter play. But now everything will stop with 11 seconds to go.
Interesting.
The officials conferring. Both teams are in a huddle near their respective sidelines around the 15-yard line, and no real
Well, the interesting part is, right, you usually would allow the clock to run out and then just kind of huddle at the end of the quarter, D. But I'm not going to speculate.
So it looks like Bowie took a timeout before the end of the quarter, Steve.
Not sure.
Well, I mean,
what that was about. I see. You're correct.
That's fine. So that will necessitate another play here in the first quarter for Reese and company. And he'll hand it off up the middle, and then spinning around and down will be Bartlett. Coming in is Wyatt Barnes with the stop at the 2. That should be enough for a first down, though. We'll see if they move this closer to a first down marker. And it is going to be the end of the first quarter, and it's going to be 3rd down and a yard to go here for the Chaparrals. On to the second quarter we go, and it's all Westlake. Up 21-0 and knocking on the door for yet another score against the Bowie Bulldogs here at Chaparral Stadium. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Call the Barra team, your local real estate MVPs with more than 20 years of experience. Sonny and Aaron consistently score sales records and rave reviews. With their all-pro experience and high level of professionalism, the Barra team dominates the competition, offering a wide range of services, including free home staging and guaranteed cash buyouts. The Barra team ensures a smooth and stress-free transaction. Their hands-on approach, combined with state-of-the-art technology, enables clients to sell their homes faster and for the most amount of money. So, for With a winning game plan to buy or sell a home, put the Barra team on your roster today.
In business here at Ebby Neptune Field. Dee Hanson joined by Steve Foster along the Vype Live Network. And we are already set and ready to go and going here from Chaparral Stadium. And the Westlake Chaparrals go in for 6 on a score from left to right. They switch sides, obviously, and totally not on top of it. Getting in for the touchdown are the Chaparrals.
Jack Bartlett.
Bartlett had earned that, by the way, as he had been the bell cow going down the field and getting in for 6. Here's the extra point by Barnett. And now Westlake finds themselves up again by 4 scores. 11:54 just starting out the second quarter of play.
So if you ask me, hey, what do you need to concentrate on? Just moving the ball downfield if you're Bowie and getting some points on the board, breaking the ice. Again, this is a very good top-rated team in the state of Texas, being the Westlake Chaparrals.
So when you're looking at trying to get back into the mix, which we have had this story before, but not to this level, usually against Westlake for Bowie.
Right.
Down by 4 scores.
Right.
And the majority of that has been running the football. I know a lot of people came into this game thinking, okay, well, the good thing is that Bowie has an excellent run defense. That has not been helpful in this particular situation. That also adds a lot more pressure on the defense to get the job done.
Yes.
So far, right. The offense has not been able to move the football with that much of ease as well. Here's the kickoff. Goes out the back end of the end zone, and then wisely, Matthew Martinez lets it go back on the far side sideline. It'll be Bowie going 1st and 10 from the own 25-yard line, going right to left. And an offensive line that still has Justin Trumpler up front, Cedric Walls at left guard. At middle is Clayton Meagle, Cole Beachy at right guard, and Kevin Trent at right tackle. Langdon at tight end, Carmine Eli, Owen Ball, and Rowan Wells are your wideouts.
Gotta start taking some chances.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line, and it will be an end around to Rowan Wells to get him in the mix finally, and he'll break it up field past the 25 near the 28-yard line. Excuse me, pass there. There's no way he made it that far. Near side sideline lineman. Man, where is he running? Jeez. Now it will be placed on the far side sideline at the 28 in the far side hash. That also will bring up a 2nd and around 7 to go.
Well, that's a good wrinkle on 1st down. It's positive yards.
Bro, Wells gets the ball. I'm happy with that.
Exactly.
Matabella out of the shotgun left-hand side. There's 2 receivers, left one, right-hand side. Tello gets that out right-hand side, and it will be
skipped.
Incomplete. Sorry, it's hard to see through the windows here. Brings up a 3rd and 7.
Not in the lap of luxury on the visitor side here in Westlake.
This is normal accommodations when you're a visitor here at Westlake.
Yeah, that is correct.
You know what? I brought that up on numerous occasions. You know how often this has changed? 0. 11:06, the clock stops. 3rd and 7, though, and a huge opportunity for the offense. Getting a 1st down with trips left-hand side. That's a long side of the field, 1 out right-hand side. Tello back to pass, will range over, has some time, and then brought down and be sacked all the way at the 16-yard line. Coming through and making the play here for the Westlake Chaparrals, Elliot Shaper, who came into the mix is one of the bigger defenders coming in. He already had 4 sacks on the season, tied for the lead on the team. Now has 5 at 6'2", 210. The junior has another year to go here for Westlake. And now it's a 4th and 18 for the Bowie Bulldogs. High snap back, flag flies, and now also hitting the punter coming in after the punt is away. And I don't see a flag on roughing the punter, by the way.
No. I think this
and
may
that,
be...
I'm telling you, that should also be the case because the flag came in right after the snap. So right after the snap, you have a flag.
And that's going to be procedure against Bowie.
Oh, well.
So I guess they want to say the play was dead. That's the only reason why.
But I didn't hear a whistle.
Right, and I agree with you.
So if it's dead ball, that mean that we see a lot of shenanigans from the officials.
Shenanigans.
4th and 23 now. The ball is brought back, and it will be Polito from his own end zone about 3 yards deep. And he will just get this away as well. And it will be hitting around their own 37-yard line on the far side sideline for the Bowie Bulldogs, past the 40, all the way up to around the 43-yard line on the far side sideline in front of the Westlake bench. 1st and 10. Again, Bowie will have to face a Westlake offense in their own territory for the 3rd consecutive time.
The short fields are really, they present the problem of percentage going up for your opponent to score because, again, you're going
because you want to give concessions to the number 4 team in the state.
Right.
So as many of those you can give.
Right.
You want to bring the ultimate
Christmas,
ultimate challenge.
Christmas in October, right.
Reese Wise still in at quarterback, gets it off to Bartlett, and he is met and dropped for a loss. Bowie defense coming in and making the stop. They'll bring up a 2nd and 11 on a 1-yard retreat here for the Chaparrals. Nick Beavers in on the stop.
Good stop.
Wise casually now the shotgun will go back to pass. We'll throw it out right-hand side, and it's a little low, but still complete at the 40-yard line. And that will be a 3rd and now around 8 to go here for the Chaparrals with 9:15 left in the first half, up 28-0 on the Bowie Bulldogs.
Well, hey, listen, at 3rd and 8, that's a good down and distance. It's going to be tough. But that's what you want to keep Westlake in.
Bartlett out left-hand side of the shotgun of Wise. 1 receiver right, out 2, 3 left-hand side. All kinds of motion. Flag flies. The ball is thrown down the left-hand side of the sideline, and it will be caught for a score from 40 yards out for the Chaparrals, but this should be coming back.
Let's see.
If it goes offsides against Bowie, I'd be shocked, as there was tons of movement on the right side of the offensive line.
Well, it was offsides on Bowie, just so you know.
Well, I couldn't see through their window here on the visitor side. So your guess is as good as mine who caught that football.
That would have been Heath McCray, number 1.
Oh, Heath McCray on his way to Houston. Extra point is up, and it is good, and Westlake dominating. Up 35-0. That was the final score the last time Bowie played here at Chaparral Stadium. Right now, with 8:48 left in the first half, that's your score. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
I'd like to talk about sandwiches for a second, specifically the Schlotzsky's Original, the sandwich that since 1971 has been an American favorite. I'd like to talk about the original one-of-a-kind, made from scratch every morning, spongy, soft sourdough bun. I'd like to talk about the original's thick stack of select meats, hearty cheeses, crisp veggies, and signature sauce. Why do I want to talk about the original? Mostly because I'm hungry, and the Schlotzsky's Original is the most delicious sandwich I could think of.
Back here at Chaparral Stadium, Dean Hanson joined by Steve Foster. The kickoff is out the back end of the end zone going left to right, and Westlake all over this one here against Bowie.
Yeah, there has to be some continuity on this offense. Cruz Tello, he's asked to do in his first year as the signal caller a huge task here. As I called this playoff primer, you start off with the 4th ranked team in the state, D, and you got to find something.
Here's Tello now out of the shotgun. 8:48 left in the. Okay, well, and now it'll be a carry right-hand side, and nothing doing here. Tello on his knees and unable to really get the offense going. Will lose almost 10 yards on the play, all the way back to his own 15-yard line.
That was a flea flicker. So it was handoff and then toss back to Cruz Tello, who was looking to throw the ball on the traditional flea flicker, and Westlake having none of it.
Second and 18 for their own 17-yard line. 4 wideouts, 2 split to each side. Tello now will hand it off, breaking it back in. Nice carry. The near side sideline past the 20 up to the 23-yard line is Brandon Thomas. And that will bring up a 3rd and 11 situation, garnering almost everything that was lost on that last play by the Bowie offense, and under 8 to go. And here in the first half. And
D, on that play, the Bulldog offensive line got good edge blocking, and Thomas coming near side to us, picking up good yardage on 2nd down.
Trips right-hand side. Tello out of the shotgun now. We'll go back to pass. Here's edge rush right-hand side. Throws it left-hand side, and it'll be incomplete. That's the right way to go to Rowan Wells, and because of the pressure, had to get rid of that football a little earlier than you wanted to. Luke Vale was the only defender there, but he was on top of Wells to a certain degree. But you're asking a junior quarterback retreating on his back foot, who's not the best of throwers,
but has to throw the ball over guys that are 6'4".
And you're talking about
with the hands raised.
There's a lot going into that throw.
You're right.
A lot going into that throw.
Correct.
Bartlett deep to receive it midfield. We'll see if Polito can get this away before he gets blocked or we'll get into Westlake territory.
Or a flag.
And that was a flag on the play.
Goodness gracious.
False start will go against the special teams for the Bulldogs. Bring it back another 5 yards to their own 19-yard line. Down 35-0. 7:15 left in the first half.
Well, you're right. It's tough sledding today.
That brings Bartlett up to the 46 of the Bulldogs. High, wobbling kick, and it's going to be fair caught at the 42-yard line by Bartlett. You know, I'm not taking each one of these and writing them down as far as the average of where this ball is being received. I would imagine that's very close to the average starting field position for the Westlake offense. I know there's a couple that will factor in that will completely take away what I'm saying right now.
Well, it's kind of close, though. You're right. You're absolutely correct. That 42 has shown up not just on Jackie Robinson Day in Major League Baseball. How about that?
Maurice Wise will be out of the shotgun once again. We have not seen Jack Kaiser that much now, and it will be Bartlett to get the carry, and he will matriculate his way past the 30, 35, 20. There's a flag now as he runs all the way down to the 10, to the 5, to the 4-yard line. This will more than likely be against Bowie, and I'm going to keep it there at the 4.
Wow, okay. Well, we'll see.
Well, last time I thought it was against Westlake, and I was wrong, so I'm just going to go on. I'm going to edge my bets.
Well, let's see.
I would thought I've been holding against Westlake, but I was wrong last time when I thought there was
Wayne Elliott tricked you.
Left.
Wayne Elliott tricked you.
I've been to this field a couple of times, so I know how it goes.
Yeah, well, Wayne Elliott got you on that one, friend.
Well, Wayne Elliott, we'll take him out for a beer after that one. Thank you very much, Wayne. Bring it back to the original line of scrimmage on the spot foul. It was 1st and 20, excuse me.
Did you hit the Ye of Little Faith tonight?
On the officiating.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm already punched that.
Yeah.
I punched that when I walked in.
Fair enough.
6:30 left in the first half. Wise with 2 backs out of the shotgun now. We'll hand it off up the middle and just a huge hole and a nice carry. And it's good tackle also at the 32-yard line. And now, oh, I don't know if that was a first down run.
Yeah, it looked a little short to me, too.
But it was close enough to bring out the chains, is all I'm saying.
Well, bring out the chains then, right? Bring out the chains.
It was guaranteed.
They gave him a guarantee right there. I would have liked to see
Nathan Acosta with the carry.
Yeah.
Second leading rusher on the team.
Sounds good.
Acosta. We'll throw out left-hand side. Here's Acosta. We'll run up 25, 20. He's at the 15. Another flag thrown at the 12-yard line. He's brought down there. And then we're going to get some more chippiness throughout the course of this game, Steve.
Well, I think the ball's going to go back from that spot again.
I agree with you, but that does not mean anything until I see the officials make the call.
Understood.
Okay. Let's just calm down. There's another holding call. Chaparrals, I mean, they are cheating all over the place.
I am calm.
What is going on?
I'm calm.
Jordan. Well, who made that stop? Matthew Fair with the stop there for Bowie. Bring the ball back now. It's now a first and around 13 to go, 12. At the 35-yard line of Bowie, getting on a spot foul. You get the first down. 5.5 to go here in the first half. Two receivers out left-hand side, one right-hand side, high snap back. And it is a carry and blown up at first and still finding some room on the far side sideline, finding the edge, and then finally up into the 25 to the 24-yard line, which, again, a gain on that particular play is a huge bonus for the Westlake Chaparrals when that could have easily been about a 5-yard loss. And that will bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Chaps.
And that's the third running back, Justice Johnson.
Costa in it, but running back, and now here's Reese Wise, who will wisely tuck it in and then lower his shoulder at the 15 to the 14-yard line before he is met and dropped, but still gains enough, well enough, for a first down. It's 1st and 10 at the Bowie Bulldogs 14-yard line.
I know Reese Wise wants to do everything he can, but when you get your 8-10 yards, just go out of bounds. There's no need to try to take on a defensive back or a linebacker. Save your body. Trust me.
Wise out of the shotgun on the far side sideline. Play action, looking for the end zone. Has plenty of time. Throws it into the end zone. It will be caught, and that will be a score. Touchdown, Chaparrals, laying it on thick once again here against the Bowie Bulldogs. In 4-6, and that is Brody Wilhelm. We have not. Nope, number 2. Okay, well, you know.
Matthew Acosta.
Huh.
Or Nathan Acosta. Nathan.
His first receiving score of the year. Here is the extra point. It is up, and it is good. Chaparrals up 42-0. 4:18 left here in the first half, and the Bulldogs having it tough on both ends of the field here, Steve.
Yeah, well, again, this is a quality team. And right now, they are hitting on all cylinders. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, so now they're able to conduct the plays that they want to run. They're disrupting the offensive plays of Bowie, and you're seeing it. And you have, what you have, and it's hard. It's tough sledding, as you said earlier, if you can't control the line of scrimmage. That 14-yard touchdown, Nathan Acosta, you said he's the backup running back. There's 4 rushers.
You don't see running backs running slants into the end zone, back into the end zone, making ridiculous catches like that.
Well, you know what? But Westlake is wise. They're keeping their best playmakers in the game at any position they can get them. And if you have Nathan Acosta that can run routes like that and then still be your second leading rusher, you have a bevy of riches on the offensive side of the ball.
Kickoff from left to right. Once again, it's fielded around the 2-yard line. Brought up there by Carmine Eli, and he will stay on his feet and finally brought down at around the 11-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs in a game that has gotten well away from them a lot earlier than expected.
Yeah, and again, kudos to the execution more so than anything, D, for Westlake tonight. They have controlled the line of scrimmage, and they've got a lot of playmakers.
Shocking. As they come in still not being full strength on top of that. Here's Tello trying to find the edge on the near side sideline. And he will get to around the 13-yard line. I appreciate the PA announcer trying to be authentic by rolling the double L's for Cruz Tello. But that is not the case.
Are we making an ethnic food commercial, sir?
It happens.
Okay.
2-yard gain on the keeper by Cruz Tello. 2nd and 8. 3:34 and counting down left here in the first half. And Bowie resigned to use as much of the play clock as possible. They're under 8 there. 2 receivers out right-hand side. Ball and Carmine Eli. It will be Montabella with the carry. Tries to find the edge, breaks it back inside, lowers the left shoulder, gets past to the 15 to the 16-yard line for a reasonable gain on the play. Now we'll bring up around a 3rd and 7 to go here for Bowie.
Well, if nothing else, this will get you ready for playing anybody in the state. But you got to realize this is the type of level that wins state championships. You're seeing it right now. So this is the measuring stick. I would love to see what the adjustments will be at halftime, D.
Substitutions.
That's
normally the adjustment.
Well, that too.
When you're down 42 to nothing.
Right.
3rd and 7 from their own 15-yard line. It will be another handoff. Montabella finding the edge on the far side sideline. Not so much. He gains maybe a yard of the play. He does stay in bounds, which does run the clock. It's an advantage. Making it 4th and that should be about 6 to go here for Bowie. Make it 5. And this 4th-ranked team in the state and the Westlake Chaparrals are good as advertised and a little bit extra, by the way. 2 minutes to go. Polito, who's been very busy, is at his own 1-yard line.
7th punt, D.
We'll kick this away, and it's a low and errant kick near far side sideline. And this is not the best kick Polito's had this evening. And we have the far side official continue to go upfield all the way to the 33-yard line of the Bulldogs on the far side hash. 1st and 10 for the Westlake Chaparrals with 1:46 left.
But a very short field.
Very
it's not
short.
their 33.
This is the shortest they've had of all the fields.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Yeah, 15 on the punt, which, you know, you're going to have those on occasion in high school.
Yes, sir.
Especially when at the volume that you're going to have in the first half. 7 punts in the first half is not what you're gunning for. Wise staying in at quarterback here for Westlake. Will fake to the right-hand side, has a bit of pressure, throws it out left-hand side, and it'll be incomplete. Trying to find Acosta out left-hand side because Acosta is one of their best receivers. Bring up a 2nd and 10.
And that was well played by the Bowie defense because Acosta
snuffed that on both sides.
Yeah, there was nowhere to go.
Yep.
And good pressure in the face of the quarterback. Yep. Reese Wise.
Wise has not really felt the pressure too much in this game. That time he did. Wise again, back to pass, has some time, throws it out. Middle of the field, caught at around the 16, upfield inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And that will bring up 1st down and just shy of being 1st down. And goal to go. It's about 14 yards out. So from the 14, it will be a handoff left-hand side and going into the end zone. Chaparrals once again in for another 6. Chaps are on fire in this game, and they are unabated once again into the blue end zone. Justice Johnson in, the junior.
Another 14-yard touchdown, this time by land. The last one to Nathan Acosta,
Yep.
a pass from Wise.
Here's the extra point. Up and good. The Shaps 49-0. I didn't see this coming. 1:15 left in the first half of play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
At the Armstrong Community Music School, we teach, explore, perform, and celebrate music by offering lessons and classes for all ages and skill levels. We've been proudly serving the Austin community for over 23 years. To learn more, visit acmsaustin.org or call 512-474-2331. We value you and your joyful lifelong journey of creative expression.
At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Because slice to order makes a sub above.
Tough pill to swallow so far here in the first half of play for the Bowie Bulldogs, down 49-0. That after a 14-yard touchdown run by Johnson for the Westlake Chaparrals. With 1:15 left in the first half, we're going to kick it away from left to right. Goes out the back end of the end zone over the head of Matthew Martinez. And now you have a second half to go at some point, Steve. And what do you say in the locker room? I'm already asking that question with 1:15 left in the
You
first
said
half.
substitutions, but the thing is, you've got to throw out this first half and say, listen, I'm not concerned about winning the game. What I'm concerned about is the effort, because we get into the second season, we can't just say this is the type of effort we're going to produce.
Carmine Eli out there left-hand side in the slot. Handoff goes to Delmark, near side sideline. He breaks it back in, near side from the 30 to the 32-yard line. Make it the 31 instead. And now bring up a second down and 6 to go here. One of the more sizable runs of the evening here for Bowie. And there's a timeout taken on the field by the Chaparrals.
Oh, they probably didn't like the fact that 6 yards.
Well, they gave up 6 yards on a run. So what the hell is going on here?
Well, again, that's what you want to make them do. Say, what the heck's going on here? Or what the hell's going on here after 6-yard runs? You can use 6-yard runs in a ball game.
Well, you don't want to get out of hand.
Right.
You don't want to get out of hand.
No,
I mean,
you don't.
You're down. You're up 49-0. You don't want Bowie to get back into this thing by any stretch.
You don't. But if you're Bowie,
that is definitely the match that could strike any kind of fire. You never know, right?
That's correct.
You never know.
Now, and I don't think Bowie would come all the way back, but they could make it interesting. And
that's true.
And that's what I think
and
you want to do.
And you can't take these timeouts in the second half.
No.
So you might as well just
take them now.
Just stop it now. Stop it now.
Or
give me a break.
You can cool it now.
Give me a break.
If you were New Edition.
Oh, well, I like that reference. Oh, how'd you do that? 2 receivers, left-hand side, Rowan Wells and Ball, and the handoff's going to go to Delmark instead. And the timeout didn't make a huge difference as Bowie still gained a yard. Makes it 3rd and around. And Westlake's taking another timeout, Steve. They're not taking timeouts because they're worried about the play. They wanted to get the ball back before the end of the half. And if
Coach Salazar want to go 50 plus?
And I told you this before.
Coach Salazar
if there is a moment that Westlake can get those points on the board. By the way, we're not talking about point differential of making the playoffs or any stretch of the imagination. This is also gameplay. You never know when Westlake is going to throw in, having called games on the other side of this.
Yes.
You want to throw in things on film that other teams might want to look at during the playoffs.
Right. Well,
so
if you're up 7 touchdowns, I don't know
what. It's irrelevant. You want to throw as many plays in there as you can with your first teamers, so you get it on film, and the other team, let's say you take on in the state semifinals that beat you, so you can't make it for a state championship, has to worry about some random punt fake that you did.
I hear you. I mean, I absolutely hear
I'm just
you.
telling you, I'm trying to find a reason. Okay, here is Tello with a 3rd and 4. And Bowie, back to pass, Tello has a block. I mean, immediately at the line of scrimmage, Tello gets slapped down. And I'm telling you, Steve, you're more than completely accurate. The body language and the effort is the biggest difference we've seen in this first half.
Correct.
I'm not as worried about the score.
Correct.
In all seriousness,
Right.
that's not where this team is.
Right.
They're not in it.
Not yet.
They're not in it yet. Polito from his own. Oh my God! Polito again is on the field. His own 16-yard line. Low snap. It actually bounces in. He just gets it away. It's a very short kick. Hits at the 42 of Bowie, but then will continue to go upfield. And I believe it might even get into Westlake territory. Nope. You know what? Even Bowie's not that fortunate. It gets to midfield at the 50-yard line, which is a win considering the last 3 series have started in Bowie territory for Westlake.
Yeah.
46 seconds to go. And Westlake still has 1 timeout, Steve. So they have an opportunity here before going into that. By the way, they did not start out the ball with the ball to start out. Bowie starts out with the ball to start out the second half.
They do.
Huge advantage, down 49-0.
But don't go to sleep, as you said, on the chaparrals.
Rolling right-hand side. Here's Wise. Throws it on the run. It's caught. The near side sideline on the 43-yard line, out of bounds. And that one will be not enough for a first down. About 7 yards on the carry. Or, sorry, completion to Cal Livingood. 40 seconds as the ball was out of bounds. So it's 2nd and 2 from the 42-yard line of the Bulldogs.
And Acosta now back playing running back, as you mentioned.
I mean, they're not. They're not. Trips left-hand side, one right-hand side. Here is Reese. Wise down the middle of the field, incomplete. And I don't see a flag, so I don't know how that ended up happening that way. As Westlake didn't have anything happen in their favor.
Well,
but it now brings up a 3rd down. 3rd and 2.
It's going to be interesting because I don't think this ball is going to get sat on. It's going to be at least.
They're going for it on 4th, by the way.
There you go.
They're no man's land, so to speak. Reagan Street, the intended receiver. Here's a throw out left-hand side, complete to Reagan Street on the far side sideline. That will move the chains and stop the clock. Also out of bounds on the far side sideline with 28 seconds to go. That will move the chains. 1st and 10 for Westlake at the 28 of the Bulldogs. The far side hash going left to right.
Well, plenty of time. And you
plenty of time.
A timeout also in the back pocket.
Acosta out left out of the shotgun with Wise. Trips right-hand side, one left. Back to passes Wise now. Has time. Throws it deep down the left-hand side. It will be overthrown.
That's
now
great
Street,
coverage.
the intended receiver. Good coverage downfield.
And Cole Janes running stride for stride on that far left-hand corner of the north end zone. And look, there's things you can take away, but you have to string them together if you're Bowie.
There you go. Janes leading the team in pass breakups on the season with 9. He has 3 INTs as well. 2nd and 10 from the 28-yard line of Bowie for Westlake. 22 seconds to go in the first half. Overthrows his intended receiver, the far side hash. That was Chase Bowen at 6'1". It's hard to overthrow that guy, but he did. It's 3rd and 10 now with 18 seconds to go. Still 1 timeout for the Chaps. They lead 49-0 here in the first half of play.
And right there, good pressure in the face of the sophomore signal caller, Reese Wise.
Westlake still has yet to give up a touchdown to Bowie now in 2.5 games. Here's Wise stepping up, has no pressure, now will run left-hand side, has some room and gets out of bounds at around the 20 and will stop the clock at 10 seconds to go. It's now 4th down. And that will bring up about 4 yards needed, I think, for a first. There's a flag on the play as well.
Kick, field goal.
Oh, kick. You mean
yes,
kick.
kick.
When you do this, so if we play charades, don't do this for kick and flags.
No, I was doing with the 2 feet.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't see the 2 feet. I'm so sorry. Oh, well, that was my mistake.
That's right.
Yeah, no, all right.
Right, this right here with the index in it, right here, 27-yarder.
Spencer Barnett, who is 8 for 13 on the season. On field goals, will punch it through to get the Shaps above 50 with 4 seconds to go, and 52-0 before the first half concludes. Just to let you know. Well, you have to come to a conclusion, Steve, that you understand why teams do what they do. And I've run into the quandary of understanding the why of the timeouts taken, getting out of bounds on the sidelines, as a exercise in real game play with your starters to get the job done. If you're doing that with your backups, I can maybe get it. I don't understand that.
Well, it's
not against. There are multiple teams they've had the opportunity to do this against in real game play when it mattered. You're up 49-0. I'd love to hear Coach Salazar on that perspective. It'd be nice to hear. 4 seconds to go. The Shaps are going to kick it away. They did not go for the onside kick, if you're wondering. And that will go out of bounds at the back end of the end zone, and the Dogs will have it with 4 seconds to go, up down 52-0.
So, why not work on your 2-minute offense, get yourself in position? Now, if in the second half you come out with your starters at 52 donut and they go more
working
than
the sidelines, calling timeouts. Okay. That's where you have your. Okay,
no, I'm just saying. I can't.
You know
I
what?
can't complain in the first half.
If you're Steve Spurrier, it doesn't matter how many scorers you have up there. Here's a handoff up the middle here for the Bowie Bulldogs, 1st and 10 from their 25-yard line. They'll also be the final play of the first half with about a 3-yard gain, and Bowie again down big on the road against the Westlake Chaparrals. 52-0 at halftime. Let's take a break. We'll come back. I promise. We'll come back. We'll dissect a little bit of what just happened here from Ebby Neptune Field as the bands come out, and then we will look at the bands. But, Steve, there is a little bit to digest here. And there's also a lot going on with other games of note that also have a major significance in how the playoff scenario might transpire once this game and
what the question was asked, and you left right before I was talking to Newt, the doc for Westlake.
Yeah. Yep.
He was asking that question that you have so well documented, which is the enrollment, because everyone's concerned who's going Division I and Division II and 25 6A and 26 6A to see who plays whom.
Yep.
And I told him, you were very good in having the numbers for most of the season, but you had vacated our area, so I didn't know.
Oh.
He was asking what our.
Oh, he was wondering also.
Yes, he was.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
I said the guru has just left the field.
Well, the good thing is that I can aptly describe is the fact that this district, 26 6A, is well documented and planned and has no real.
The numerical student count is what he was concerned with. He was trying to figure out who would go 1 and who would go Division 2.
Oh, well, there's no question about that.
Yeah, I didn't know. I knew.
Well,
you knew.
we will talk about that on the other side of this one.
Teased it.
52-0.
Right.
The Chaparrals leading comfortably here at home against the Dogs of Bowie. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Hey football fans, ready to tackle a winning smile? Dr. Brian St. Louis has been creating awesome smiles just down the street at Central Texas Orthodontics since 2008. Located a half-mile east of Bowie High School at 3413 West Slaughter Lane, his experienced team knows how important a confident smile is on and off the field. Dr. St. Louis offers the latest options in orthodontic technology, including Invisalign, allowing you to straighten your smile without getting side sideline. So whether you're throwing touchdowns or cheering from the stands, let him help you score big with a winning smile. Book your appointment now with Dr. St. Louis at Central Texas Orthodontics and get a game-changing smile. Call or text at 512-292-1910. You can also find more information at ctorthodontics.com.
Womack Real Estate is a full-service real estate brokerage located in the heart of Southwest Austin. We're here to serve the Austin area community. We help buyers, sellers, and investors with all their real estate needs. We're a diverse and dynamic company of professional and experienced real estate agents that bring hospitality to the real estate process to make it a smooth, enjoyable experience. We work with each client individually, taking the time to understand their unique lifestyles, needs, and wishes. We'll be a committed ally to negotiate on your behalf and with the backing of a trusted company. Get in touch with us today. Find us at womackrealestate.com.
Interested in Vype Campus? Vype Campus brings our popular citywide media days right to your doorstep. As a Vype Campus client, we will work with you to help you take advantage of our unique campus model to build a unique experience for your school. From media day photo shoots of all your athletes to game day coverage, broadcasts and live streams, video and digital content, hype videos, the Vype U program, same day graphics, and of course your very own campus magazine, Vype Campus is truly whatever you want it to be. Email info@vypemedia.com to find out how to join Vype Campus today.
Out on the field, D. Hanson joined by Steve Foster and Stevie tee up a little bit here. Oh, the halftime score, by the way. Bowie down 52-0 here against Westlake. I don't know what else to tell you other than the fact that we documented going into this game that Bowie dominated all three phases of the game against Aikens. Flip it. That's what ended up happening here. Polito actually, in his first, 5 punts, we're pretty good. But if you're... I saw Sepulveda on the roster here, one of the backup defensive linemen for the Westlake Chaparrals. Made me think back to my Baylor days. In Sepulveda, one of the best punters in the Big 12 at the time and went on to the NFL. But that was one of the best players for Baylor at the time. You don't want one of your best players to be brought up all the time as your punter. And tonight, we've talked a lot about Polito. We've not talked a lot about other players for Bowie. And having Reagan Cooper go out at the very beginning of the game doesn't help your psyche on top of the fact that the playmaker. So you take the Wes Unselds out of your lineup, and you automatically are down psychologically too. And that's a big makeup of this game too. You mentioned it before, the W on the helmet strikes you at the very beginning. You get Reagan Cooper out at the very beginning defensively. That doesn't help your cause.
No.
To get
no. And the W on the helmet could also go for the Washington then Bullets for Wes Unseld, another W, whose basketball camp I attended at Bowie State in Maryland.
I don't know how you worked yourself into that narrative, but you did.
2 years. Of Wes Unseld basketball camp.
I don't know how.
I didn't know you even knew who Wes Unseld was.
I didn't know how you would fit yourself into you being a part of the narrative.
Well, I am calling this game tonight that we're talking about.
That's very fair, but can we talk about Bowie being down 52-0?
I was really not trying to insert myself, but you said Wes Unseld.
So how?
Very rare.
So how? Okay, Kevin Bacon, can you let me know a little bit more about how Bowie can get back into the mix, or what they're probably thinking at halftime?
Now that we've cleared the air, yes. You have to just throw out the first half. You have to get back to basics. This is a fundamentally unsound football team right now, that being the Bowie Bulldogs. They have not produced the line play well. They have not got their timing down. We've seen a snap go over Cruz Tello's head. We've seen one that disrupted and led to, I think, the slippery slope, which then allowed Westlake to get some momentum, because in their second possession, they did punt the ball to Bowie.
Yep.
But the miscues by Bowie, and again, we're not seeing the same. It almost has seemed like they know they're in the playoffs, so we can kind of just kind of downshift a little bit.
A bit of coasting.
Yes.
Not the thing you want to go into. A game that you know also means a ton to your head coach.
Yes.
Jeff Abels has seen this Westlake team time and time again.
Yes.
And this is a game that means a lot to the Bowie Bulldogs traditionally.
Correct.
And although you might have something sewn up as far as the playoffs are concerned, that's not the mentality you want to hear. Also, for a team that wants to advance in the playoffs.
Right. This is not
aside from this one game.
It's not one of those Greg Popovich. We're going to sit Tim Duncan for load management and just see what happens with the third string guys. That's not what this
because they've
intention
proven
was.
themselves for a decade before he did that kind of stuff.
Right.
This is not that scenario.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Fair enough. So now you go into the second half of play. Do you expect to see starters for Bowie?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
We might not for okay.
Absolutely. I think you have to at least get the ice broken, meaning get on the scoreboard for your psyche, for your own benefit. Because again, this playoff prep, as I call it, of the two lakes, you get Lake Travis next week, and I don't want to look ahead, but they are also an extremely good football team.
I'm fine with looking ahead. We can talk about looking ahead if you want as much as you want.
You're going to need to get some traction as you go into next week. Okay.
So speaking of scoring, I did the last 5 years of quarter scoring between these two teams.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of crooked numbers for Westlake across the board. You have 1-7 in a second quarter for Bowie. That's the last 5 years. They have not scored. They've not scored field goal, safety, touchdown since the second quarter of their tilt against Westlake in 2020. So, as much as you're down 52-0, getting into the end zone tonight is a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm being dead serious.
No, that's why I'm saying you keep your starters in, and you have to. That's what I was saying when I meant break the ice.
Right.
Absolutely.
And if you get in double figures, you're talking about some level of momentum that is better than where you're going into half. So this is a big second half of a game for Bowie, as much as you might not think it is.
No, I think it is.
Yeah.
And that's why I said they've got to break the ice.
Okay. So with that, you also have the grand scheme of things, and we'll get scores here in a second, and we'll go ahead and deliver those to you here in the third quarter of play. But to this point, if you're wondering how the bi-district playoff scenario is playing out, and this is post the game last night where Westwood was able to get a 28-21 victory against Manor. And I watched that whole game.
Yeah.
My son's like, why are you watching this high school game on a Thursday night? Because if Manor is able to get a victory, it ups the ante of how Bowie looks at the Division II perspective, which they sit along with Dripping Springs of not having to take on the number 5 team in the state, one below the team they're taking on right now, in Vandegrift.
Right.
And so the only way that ends up happening is if Vandegrift is pushed to Division I. And the way that ends up happening is if Manor and or McNeil, right now, who are the teams on the outside looking in, can get into the postseason. And the best way to have that happen is if Manor had taken out Westwood last night, which they did not. So Westwood, really, they did not completely seal up and clinch a postseason berth, but they really enhanced the possibilities that ended up happening.
Increase their chances.
Exponentially, considering the fact they take on Vandy next week.
Oh, yeah.
With that said, right now, Round Rock, the Dragons, who are the biggest of all the enrollments, they're almost 4,000, are the other team to note. The reason why McNeil is a big factor is they take on Stony Point tonight, and that's the game we're going to give you scores here very shortly. If McNeil's able to beat Stony Point, is the only other team on the outside looking in, Stony Point is, that has an enrollment that's not helpful for Bowie. McNeil wins the tiebreaker against Round Rock. So at the end of the day, if Round Rock splits, which they have at Cedar Ridge and then Vista Ridge after that, if they split and McNeil wins out, which they have an excellent possibility of doing that because McNeil then takes on Cedar Ridge after that, the bottom feeder of the district. Then McNeil is into the postseason. Round Rock is out. Vandergrift goes up to Division 1, and it's McNeil and Vista Ridge. But Vista Ridge has to win their last game of the season, and that's against Round Rock also.
That's a lot.
That's the most. There's a lot more at play. I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that can go on.
A lot.
You can have a 4-team playoff at the end of the day,
right.
But I'm just giving you what could happen and what Bowie fans might hope for, so they don't have to take on Vandergrift to start out.
I'm going to tell you, 25-5A is a much more 25-6A has much more parity than 26-6A.
Clearly, yeah. Well, they don't have three teams.
I mean, that's Captain Obvious.
3 teams in the
that's Captain. That's probably Colonel Obvious. Yeah. But with that said, I love the fact that there's plenty of scenarios in 25-6A.
So we'll get a score here, we'll continue in the second half, by the way, to look at McNeil and Stony, because that is actually
Let
one
me
of the
ask you something.
games. Yes.
You think Coach Salazar wants to put up more points against Bowie in the second half?
You know, I have no doubt, actually, he's going to pull people, and you're going to have Paxton Land come in, who was second-team All-District last year at quarterback and is a preferred walk-on for Texas A&M. He's your backup quarterback. They actually the more fleet of foot of the two QBs. But now, however you look at it, is going to be a challenge for Bowie going into the second half to keep their head up, and they've got to do it.
Right.
They've got to do it.
Right.
I agree with you. It's not so much who you're playing right now. It's what you can do moving forward. And it has to be more active. We're not seeing the level of commitment
you know
and fire from this team that we saw.
As much as I hate to see this and say this against this team and scenario, I'd rather them have a down game going into the playoffs against Westlake than in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
I guess, get over it. But, I don't know if the rain brought them down, but I tell you what, they're not the same team we've seen, in the last 3 weeks.
Team. Yeah. Absolutely agree. We're going to take a break, and actually we're not going to take a break. We're going to go straight to the bands and give that to you as well. And once again, the halftime score here from Ebby Neptune Field. The Westlake Chaparrals up big, 52-0 on the Bowie Bulldogs. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Most injury attorneys these days are characters, all promising to get you a big check easily and quickly. The truth is, when handled well, an injury case is not easy and may take time. You shouldn't pick an attorney because of their gimmicks. You should pick an attorney because they have experience and resources to get you and your family the best outcome. A serious injury requires a serious attorney. At the Carlson Law Firm, we're not characters, we're attorneys with character.
CarlsonAttorneys.com. We care, we can help.
At Circle C Orthodontics, Dr. Fidel Del Toro and Dr. Jonathan Kimes love making beautiful, healthy smiles. Utilizing the latest advances in technology and techniques, the team at Circle C Ortho can help you look better and feel better too. Their practice philosophy focuses on patient-centered, personalized care. They take the time to get to know you as a person, not just a set of teeth or braces. Circle C Orthodontics, no referral needed, all insurance plans welcome, and affordable payment options available. More information at austin-braces.com, 512-394-0930.
McLean Family Dental is a proud supporter of Bowie football. Locally owned and operated by Dr. Deidre and Dr. James McLean, we are so excited to be celebrating over 10 years of providing compassionate, conservative, and comprehensive dental care for patients of all ages in Circle C, Shady Hollow, and Southwest Austin. From your friends and neighbors at McLean Family Dental, go Dogs!
Looking for the best brunch, lunch, dinner, or happy hour spot? Look no further than your neighborhood Waterloo Ice House. With 4 locations across Austin, we've been serving up cold drinks and made-from-scratch food for locals, newcomers, and families alike since 1976. Get a taste of original Austin with great food and good vibes. With our patios, playscapes, big screens, daily specials, breakfast all day, and more, we've got something for everyone. See locations, menus, and more at WaterlooIcehouse.com. Waterloo Ice House, where neighbors become friends.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Okay, we're back in business here from Chaparral Stadium. D. Hanson joined by Steve Foster, about to get things going here at Ebby Neptune Field along the Vype Live network. 52-0 is the score. The Chaparrals up big as they are inching up on the most points they've scored all season long. They still haven't gotten there, though, Steve. They scored 64 against Aikens in a 64-0 affair in the 3rd game of the year. 67-14 over Anderson, and last week against Austin High at House Park, 65-14. So they're trying to lay that kind of foundation going into their last game of the season, which will be at Johnson to take on the Jaguars. Meanwhile, the Bowie Bulldogs have not given up this many points all year long in a full game.
Yeah, this I'm telling you, the line of scrimmage has dictated a lot here in this first half of this game. So if the Bulldogs want to get back into it and be in a respectable scoring situation, they've got to get something done on the line of scrimmage.
And we'll look up scores for you. McNeil against Stoney here as we go on. It is a 3rd quarter as well now underway. The kickoff as Westlake won the coin toss, elected to receive to start out the game. Angle at left-hand side. Matthew Martinez looked to go about the back end of the end zone, as has been accustomed to doing, by the way, as Spencer Barnett, first-team all-district punter for our kicker from a year ago. The senior also came in as one of the best field goal kickers across the land. He is his long is 59 on the season, and now he is 9 of 14 on the year after he's got this 35-yard field goal at the very end of the first half of play. Bowie will now have the ball to start out 1st and 10 in the 3rd quarter from their own 25-yard line. It will be Tello out of the shotgun. In motion ball from right to left. He'll join Rowan Wells. And now Tello will pitch it out left-hand side. Mathabella gets the carry, and he'll try to get to the line of scrimmage. And he will. So no gain on the play will bring up a 2nd and 10.
There's a lot of inside-out pursuit to this near sideline D, and the Chaparrals picking up where they left off.
And you do have some already Ryder Willie action on the near side, warming up on the sideline here, the backup quarterback for the Bulldogs. Another carry by Matabella, and this will gain 2, maybe at the most. Bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Ball in the middle of the field going right to left, down 52-0 with 11:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Steve, you're just looking for some fire out of this team.
Yeah, just some good push up front.
Tell out the shotgun once again, rolls out right inside, throws it on the run. It's complete. Carmine Eli breaks it back in, they'll back outside again. He's brought out of bounds at the 30-yard line, which is short of the first down marker by 5. It's 4th and 5 now, and Bowie will be forced to punt it away.
Well, no sacks, 2 running plays, and
a completion.
So, you know, it's small steps, but it's positive.
No turnovers. Yes.
Correct.
Also a factor. Polito back out on the again. He's been very busy. Kick away. Stephen Fuqua is back to receive, and he'll motion for a fair catch, and just able to fingertips hold on to that around the 46-yard line of the Chaparrals. One of their worst starting field positions of the
well,
game.
it's on their side of the
46. I'll take it.
It's on their side of the 50-yard line, and you're right. No short field here.
Okay, so the telltale sign here is whether Reese Wise, the starting quarterback, comes back out on the field for the Chaparrals, and instead it will be Paxton Land, the 6'5", 215 senior, preferred walk-on for Texas A&M, second-team All-District player from a year ago, in at backup quarterback, and he will hand it off right-hand side. Acosta with the carry gets to midfield for a 5-yard gain, and that will bring up a 2nd down for Westlake.
So, some consolation in reference to the backups.
But quickly to the line, the Chaparrals stay within the confines of their offense. Hand off Acosta again. Hand off. It will be blown up. And excuse me, that's Johnson on the carry.
Yes.
And he is hit and dropped for a loss on the play. And that will bring up that was Andrew Abelkis.
Good hustle.
Stop. And now bring up a 3rd down, around 8 to go here for Westlake.
Good hustle.
Land out of the shotgun with Johnson to his left. 2 receivers left-hand side, 1 right-hand side. Trips left-hand side, excuse me. Lots of movement on the front line. And that will also precipitate a whistle. And a false start will go against the Chaparrals. Excuse me. I assumed too much.
I like that. Precipitate. That's a good word on a Friday
people
night.
think it's only for rain.
We did have that. We had that earlier. We had that earlier.
It's not.
Precipitate. It's a good
3rd and 13 coming up here for the Chaps.
It's a good Scrabble word if you can
Only
get
up 52-0. 9:37 left here in the 3rd quarter. Back to pass. Here's Land. Goes middle of the field, and it'll be incomplete. Dropped at the 42 of Bowie. And the pass was on target. And
punt.
Chase Bowen was not able to hold on to it.
Punt.
And they'll bring up a this is the 2nd punt of the game for the Chaparrals. At 4th and 13 from their own 43. They went backwards on that last series. Carmine Eli will be back at his own 20-yard line. Here is the punt. It is away. Low kick is fielded in a Willie Mays fashion here. Carmine Eli finds the edge near side sideline, then bounced out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
I like it.
And a little bit of spunk in this Bowie special teams will bring out the offense for the 2nd time in this half.
Well, I like that. Carmine Eli makes the over-the-shoulder catch, but comes near side, gets upfield, gets positive yardage, and, starts here past the 30.
Tello and company have had no real movement here, and it will now be Ryder Willie, the backup quarterback for Bowie, will find his way into the starting lineup. He is also a very mobile quarterback. Boudouin will get the carry. He finds his way upfield, pass to the 35, near the 36. No whistles. And very close to the 37-yard line on a carry by Boudouin.
Hey, Jaden Boudouin, I saw him after the game last week.
You're a fan.
I am a fan. Sizable guy as a running back.
I mean, that's saying a lot from when you say that.
Yes.
Because you're a sizable back.
Sizable.
2nd and 6. Willie out of the shotgun. That man is Delmark. High snap back. Boudouin gets the carry, holds onto that football, gets past the 40, up to the 42-yard line, a yard shy of the first down. And the Bulldogs offense, as we match
I'm not playing. I mean,
backups against backups, are moving the football up the field.
Boudouin, sizable, good rusher of the ball.
I don't imagine you're going to let off on Boudouin. I just walked by his parents. As there's a really good still contingent here for the Bowie fans. And a keeper by Willie tries to find room on the edge. And, he would have been much better served to break it back inside. Instead, he tries to go on the outside. He loses about 2 yards at the 40-yard line.
I taught you something,
and that's a 4th down and about 4 to go here for the Bulldogs. And, again, forced to punt the football away.
But you are a Seattle Seahawks fan.
I am.
And, see, you have to really know the annals of the National Football League, because if I say Kurt Warner, most people go quarterback. I'm talking to you as the running back with the C, not a K, who had the cutback working all through his career.
Penn State.
Yes.
Here's the kick away. A lot of Penn State running backs, by the way. High kick, and it is going to take a great Westlake bounce. It hit originally around, the 37-yard line.
Right.
Went upfield, though, for the Chaparrals and be down at the 40. 1st and 10 for Westlake for a second go-around here in the third quarter.
Your best and favorite Penn State running back.
Best and favorite Penn State running back?
Yeah.
Well, there's not a lot to choose from.
Oh,
so I'll go Kurt Warner still.
I'll go Franco Harris.
That's fine.
Okay.
Also a Seahawk, by the way.
Keyshawn Carter was a bust.
Franco Harris was a Seahawk?
Yes, he was.
Yes,
not first.
Not at
first. Not at first. He was on the knee, hit the.
Well, there's not at first a lot of that. Jerry Rice was a Seahawk. So the handoff goes up the middle, and not much of any kind of penetration. In fact, there's a loss in the play.
Jim Craig was a Seahawk.
And they'll be back all the way to around the 36-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 14 for yards loss, and Land will go back out, throw it out left-hand side. It is complete at the 40 to the 41-yard line, far side sideline. That will bring up a 3rd down and around 8 to go. A lot of chirping on both sides of the aisle on this particular drive.
Because now you're seeing some attitude from the Bowie Bulldogs, some fight.
3rd and 9. Land and company. High snap back. Land now in. A bit of distress will throw on the run. It'll be incomplete. Around the 50-yard line. Try to find, again, Chase Bowen. And that will be incomplete.
Good pursuit.
And that will bring up a 4th and 9. And Westlake will be forced to punt once again.
The effort has risen. And so whatever was said in the locker room has been helpful for the Bowie Bulldogs, even though they have not gotten on the scoreboard.
Here's the punt. Brady Bartlett from his own 27. And he will wobble this one and take a great shot bounce. And it will go out of bounds on the near side sideline. Official will stop at around the 20-yard line. Deep to receive was Cole Craddock. And he let that one go on his own accord. 6:05 left in this third quarter. Now we're just moving the clock, and nothing's going on here in the third quarter of play. And clearly, Westlake taking their foot off the gas.
A little bit, as we know it. Yes, that's correct. But I still want to see if Bowie can get on the gas.
Yeah,
yes, right.
I'm just talking about Westlake at least.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Here's Willie out of the shotgun, and he'll hand it off. Boudouin tries to find room right-hand side. He's brought down from behind, in fact, though, and he'll be lucky In fact, he won't gain anything and maybe lose a yard in the play. Bring up 2nd and 11 with under 6 to go.
We could have said we were talking about not Westlake, but Shaft, in honor of Richard Roundtree, who passed away, the original Shaft.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't know what was going on with that. I did not realize that. I'm sorry to hear that.
He's a bad mother.
Oh, good, because we don't have sensors. So I'm so glad you stopped. Throw out goes left-hand side, and a wallop of a hit at around the 26-yard line, but still held on for a reasonable gain upfield in the near side sideline.
Max Turner. Hey, good catch. You know what? You get hit in football.
What he went into, absolutely.
You get hit in football. But he held on, and I love it.
It brings up a 3rd and 5 from their own 25 here from their own 26. Willie, play action, bootleg out right-hand side, throws it out. It's complete to Boudoir, but it's going to be... And now flags fly all over the place. And you saw all these officials see what was happening well away from the play, as you had 3 Bowie offensive players, offensive linemen, and 1 defensive player for Westlake. And I don't know which way this is going to go, but it's going to be a personal foul. And Steve, this is our... how many iterations have we seen where this ends up happening late stages of the 3rd quarter?
Well, I was going to say the Westlake player involved has been close and involved with other Bowie players in the first half as well.
Fair enough. Unsportsmanlike conduct, Westlake.
Well, there it is. And now Wayne Elliott has identified the player. And you do it enough times, someone's going to find you out.
It's not as if Ben Sullivan has not his name mentioned before through this.
Well, now you got him.
So now you got him. Well, I'm just saying, throughout the season, I'm not just talking about this game. 4:40 left in the 3rd quarter of play. It's now 1st and 10 after the penalties assessed. And this is not what Tony Salazar wants to see.
He didn't want to see that.
This is not actually what you want to see.
Well,
because what if that ends up happening in a state semifinal game? Here is a keeper by Willie. Instead of heading off Boudoir, loses 2 yards on the play, back inside the 40 to actually make it 1 yard, yard and a half.
I think either way, that was not a winning.
That was a tough one.
Because, again, if you don't win at the line of scrimmage, matters not which decision you make to hand off or keep.
So now it'll be Willie with trips to right-hand side and 1 left. Willie will throw it right-hand side, and it will be incomplete. Trying to climb the ladder. You had Miles Strickland, the backup tight end.
Yeah.
And he was open.
He was, but he had to, and I like what the thought process, because you had to throw it over a couple Westlake defenders and kind of drop it down. You couldn't drop it down, so you had to have your receiver go up and get that ball.
So I'm looking up scores here. I'll depend on you here a little later on to help me out with that. Here's Willie with a nice delayed draw as he went right but handed off Boudoir, who cut back in left-hand side on a 3rd and around 14. It makes it now 4th and 10. And it'll be 4th down here for the Bulldogs at their own 41-yard line. McNeil taking on Stoney in the 3rd quarter, leading 38-14.
You like that?
That's a big score for the Bulldogs as they are hedging to not having to take on Vandergrift to start out the bi-district round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Here is an angle left-hand side is fielded and brought up to the 31, then falling down. So nice punt actually by Polito. Will cause that, and nearly going out of bounds is Stephen Fuqua is able to come underneath that one.
Let me, we were on the field earlier before the game. The blue pellets that are on this field are really not providing much support for the footing. And we're seeing a lot of people slip, D.
Yeah.
On both teams.
Drained pretty well here at Upton Field. Here's a kind of pump fake by Bland as he did not have his intended receiver open at the moment and then still delivered it in the same vicinity as he was generally trying to throw it to on that last play to Chase Bowen. And now it's now 2nd and 10 for the Westlake Chaparrals at their own 32-yard line. 2:57 left in the third quarter of play, and they lead 52-0 to the Chaps on the Bowie Bulldogs. Land out of the shotgun once again on the ball on the near side hash going left to right. Handoff goes up at the middle to Johnson. He doesn't find any space. In fact, he will gain nothing on the play. A good interior penetration on the defensive front. That is Sam Segura, the junior, making the tackle. And that will bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Chaparrals with 2:38 counting down left in the third quarter.
I like the effort.
It's gotten a lot better. You can tell body language in and of itself
Absolutely.
is better.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, what had to be the resounding theme at halftime. We got to pick it up.
4 wideouts, 2 split to each side here for the Chaparrals. Land now, back to pass, looking down the left sideline. He goes that way. It's complete at the 44-yard line and staying in bounds and staying on feet to the 35-30, 25-20. Streaming down the far sideline to the 5 and 2 all the way to the 2-yard line. I do not know how Skinner was able to stay inbounds that entire way, but he was able to do so. And I don't even doubt it for a minute that he was able to do that. Brett Skinner, the senior DB, coming in and making the reception on offense, will get a first down and goal to go for the Westlake Chaparrals as they are knocking on the door once again and trying to maybe get it into the 60 range if they go for 2. Here's Land, getting it off to Johnson up the middle. Excuse me, Land will keep it. Tries to find the edge on the right sideline. It'll go bounce out of bounds at around the 6. They mark this appropriately. It should be a loss of the play.
Isaiah Mims playing now. He's been sidelined a couple weeks and comes in and makes the quarterback take it out of bounds. And as you mentioned, a loss on the play, D.
Paxton Land was the starter last year, second-team All-Cheshire player.
Yeah.
He's rushed it 22 times this season going into this game for 106 yards. Out of the shotgun, he'll be handed off. No, excuse me, throw out left-hand side, and then nice defense, and then blocking that from the intended receiver.
That was good defense.
Out of the air, and that will be that was Brett Skinner again, the intended receiver.
Yeah. And great defense right there at the point of attack. And I believe Max Turner.
3rd down and goal to go from the 5-yard line for the Chaps. 1 receiver right-hand side, 2 left, and a rollout against the grain. Throw out, and it'll be caught. Touchdown, Chaparrals. Far side sideline. Grimes with the for the TD from Land. That'll be Land's 7th passing score of the year. And Westlake rejoicing now with the 6 on the board going for the extra point. Will go up potentially up 59-0. Flag is thrown before the extra point is attempted. A little substitution by the Chaparrals. You don't see that every day.
No.
In fact, I don't know when the last time I saw an illegal substitution by the offense on a extra point attempt.
That may be a first. That may be a first. Can we say that?
Yes. It's a first for me.
Okay.
Those are the things I remember, ironically. Extra point is up and it is good. Westlake now up with a touchdown, the first touchdown of the quarter. 59-0 on the Dogs of Bowie. 1:25 left here in the third quarter of play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
If you didn't know already, Schlotzsky's at 5601 Brody Lane should be your catering go-to. With a menu filled with delicious catering options, Schlotzsky's has all the bases covered. With a delicious lineup of sandwiches, soups, salads, pizzas, desserts, and more, we've got just what you need to make any party or event great. Just visit our site, choose from the menu, and schedule delivery. Your order will arrive fresh, on time, and ready to be devoured. Schlotzsky's, it's a mouthful.
Okay, back in business here. The Bowie Bulldogs down 59-0. Last pitch and catch there. Land able to find TD for 6. Backup QB for Westlake. That'll be a kick away from left to right. Matthew Martinez will go let that go about the back end of the end zone. And it will be the Bulldogs first and 10 from their own 25-yard line going right to left.
A much better half, even though there's one score that's been put up, a much better effort in half.
You feel better about the overall body language and all those other things that you want to see.
Yeah, though intangibles, because both of these teams are going into the playoffs, and you want to have some positivity if you're the Bowie Bulldogs that you can compete and win in the second season.
Ryder Willie's high snap, and he's able to hold on to it. Boudouin finds a seam left-hand side past the 30 to the 31-yard line before he is stopped. Nice gain in the play, near 6. Second and 4 coming up here for Bowie. Looking for an elusive first down on a drive here, which they have not had a lot of.
No, well, they have not. They have not.
One receiver out right-hand side is Gavin Robinson. 2 receivers left. Again, Willie out of the shotgun has Boudouin to his right. Boudouin gets the carry again, breaks it back in. He's at the 35, 40.
Good run.
Field pass to the 41-yard line. Will be enough, well enough. About 11 yards on a first down carry.
And that's what you have to do. Just kind of bang and get up in the face of these Westlake defenders. You know, it's an attitude. It's an attitude that you have to go get these guys, because at home they believe they are the unstoppable.
You have Robinson out far right-hand side. Hulk cried out near side, and then a bad snap, and Willie will have to retreat all the way back and then hit at the very end of that play when he was already well down at the 29-yard line, but they're going to let that go. They'll bring up a second down, about a loss of almost 18 on the play, it looks like. And that'll also be the end of the quarter. On in the fourth quarter we go. One score in the books. In this third quarter of play, we'll have Westlake up 59-0 against Bowie. Bowie with a 2nd and 22 from their own 29 coming up to start out the fourth quarter play. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
Kiefer Sparks Agency is a locally owned boutique real estate brokerage owned by Jennifer Sparks and Natalie Kiefer. KSA provides the highest level of expertise and service by offering in-depth industry knowledge, extensive networks, and resources. Whether buying, selling, or investing in Austin real estate, Jen, Natalie, and the KSA team understand that each client's needs are unique. KSA strives to exceed expectations and will deliver unmatched professionalism and expert negotiation skills. They pride themselves on building strong relationships with their clients that last well beyond the transaction. Visit www.ksarealtors.com.
Okay, we're back, and Neil Diamond is playing, as of course all the fans here for the Westlake side super happy, as well they should be, and a very impressive first half especially. Bowie now down 59-0 to start out the fourth quarter of play. We'll go out with a screen on a 2nd and 22, going left to right as we flip sides. And it is complete, and that'll be brought up to the 31-yard line. And a negligible, about 2-yard gain on the offensive play here for Bowie. And again, Ryder Willie has been the starting quarterback to start out this third quarter.
Yep.
And Boudouin has been the main runner. Here's Willie. He'll range right-hand side. It will throw on the run, go deep down the right side, and it will be either intercepted. There's no indication of that. There's also flags on the play, which could indicate a pass interference call against the defense of Westlake. We'll see. But I didn't see any indication of it being turned over, which would indicate also it's a defensive pass interference call. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Usually, the officials will call it through the play.
Usually.
That's my experience.
Usually.
In calling, 20-plus years of high school football.
Well, not only high
never
school.
know. You
not
never
only
know.
high school, D.
Or in college, by the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, give yourself credit. You got cred.
I actually have enjoyed some of the quality officiating from the high school level beyond what I've seen from the college level.
Hey, Wayne Elliott's been in the NFL.
Oh, he's back in the high school level for a reason.
Easy.
Okay, here's Willie now, and he will hand it off. Boudouin trying to find the edge. He does at midfield. He gets past there into Westlake territory at the 48-yard line on a hard-earned 6 or 7 yards on the carry. It's getting a little chilly as we get to 11 minutes left in the game clock overall.
Boudouin kind of like you're in good hands with Mike Allstott.
Oh. He has that.
Kind of just rumbles.
He needs the neck brace behind him, and I will give you that.
He runs hard.
He does run, and he runs with both arms around the football as if his life depended on it.
I am okay with that.
Oh, ball security, 101. High snap again. Again, handoff goes to Boudouin, and he will get past the 45 to the 44-yard line on a second down carry, which should move the chains. But you know what? It's not close enough, apparently, as that third down marker, I'm telling you, is inches away.
Credit card.
But the
it's
officials
credit card.
will not move it. Now they will.
It's credit card close.
Are they going to move it?
It's credit card close.
I'm telling you, we have one guy that's moving and the other one's not.
It's credit card close.
You know, those. It would be helpful if one of the chain gang wasn't wearing a Westlake hat. So it's first and 10 at the 44-yard line of the Chaparrals.
Oh, dang.
Here's a Willie Keeper out of the shotgun. He loses the football.
No.
Pigskin on the ground. Picked up. Here he goes.
Kicked.
Still on the ground.
Kicked.
All the way back to the 31-yard line of the Bulldogs. It looks like Bowie has actually recovered it.
Max Turner,
and I thought there was no way that Bowie was going to be able to get on top of that. I thought there were so many red jerseys around that pigskin. I mean, you watch the replay, and finally Max Turner did not give up. But now it's about first down and, 35, 40 to go. The first down marker is at the 34-yard line of
I thought you were getting ready to say it was Manchac.
Manchac, or El Paso. Manchac's a little close. Far west is also far. Ball's on the 32-yard line of Bowie. Oh, jeez. It's now 2nd and 32. People know more math than I do. Willie throws, and it'll be intercepted at midfield and brought up there. And near side sideline past the 40, inside there to the 36-yard line on the INT by Westlake. They have not actually turned a lot of people over this season, but that particular instance, there were too many red jerseys on the throw. Willie trying to fit something in. That is the 9th INT of the season, and that pick was Jordan Sullivan, who made that INT with 8:45 left in the ball game, and what had been a very promising drive by Bowie. A fumble by the quarterback and then an INT back-to-back made it really kind of completely vanish. Here is the carry right-hand side as the Westlake Chaparrals move the ball up the field. Johnson with the carry, and that will bring about 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Good run, but also nice finish by the defense. Turning back the rusher.
Justice Johnson, Jr.
Number 22.
Land out of the shotgun. Will hand it off. Johnson again, holding onto that football. Gets past the 25-yard line. That'll be enough to move the chains on what was a second around 4. Brings up a 6-yard gain. And Johnson moves the clock also at 8 minutes to go. And Shaps, holding on to a 59-0 advantage. Land. Again, far side sideline. We'll throw the football out right-hand side. It is caught at the 20-yard line. Upfield to the 15. Still on his feet inside of the 14-yard line. And Bowen, who saw a lot of action also in the first half, is still in this second half, which is understandably he's a backup receiver to McCree. But it does not give up, and Bowie is also doing their best to try to dislodge that football. And then it's happening, you also take away a little bit of integrity of trying to tackle. Here's a run by Land. He will get his way near side sideline on a 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line and out of bounds at around. It's hard to tell because I can't see at around the 10, I believe. Yeah, 10. So it's a 4-yard gain. It makes a 2nd down and 6.
Getting a little chilly. Temperature dropping.
It did. And the air conditioning's on at 65 degrees here inside. The visitors' booth. Land stays in. And he will hand it off right-hand side, and that will be no gain on the play. And now we also have another ball carrier here, and that's Ben Cressan, the senior running back, number 43 again. And that will bring up a 3rd down. And 7 to go here for Westlake, up 59-0 with under 7 to go.
Ben got Cressanwiched by the defense.
You were priming. You couldn't wait. You could not wait. I can't even acknowledge that dad joke. Cressan gets the carry up the middle. He's initially met and then continues through the initial contact, gains maybe 2 more yards. He's still shy of the 1st down, brings up a 4th down. And Westlake will come out and trot out their field goal unit. How about that?
Well,
how about that? You still have 3 timeouts remaining, Westlake. I'm just, there's a level of absurdity that was, well beyond. I totally acknowledge that. I don't think it's that far off from what we saw in the first half.
25-yarder.
25-yarder is up. Oh, it is. It is good. And the Westlake Chaparrals now balloon their lead up to 62-0 on the Bowie Bulldogs with 5:54 left. This is Bowie Bulldog football. Okay, we're back. It's okay. So 5:54 left, Steve. Obviously, there's not a lot more to speak on this particular game, as it is well in hand for the Westlake Chaparrals. And next up, it will be a Thursday night edition of high school football. The 3rd of 3 games on the slate in the Thursday bucket here for the Bowie Bulldogs. McNeil up 45-14 on Stoney. That kind of gives you an understanding there about how McNeil might find their way and inch their way into the playoff.
Oh no! Whoa! What's happening
here is Matthew Martinez, who is going to try to bring the football up on a kickoff. He lost the ball and tried to pick it up and advance it, but he muffed it.
But
so I guess they're saying that he couldn't advance it.
I don't.
Is that what they're saying?
I don't get that.
Can you not advance a muffed kickoff?
Well, did he? If he called a fair catch, it should be at the 25.
I don't understand. But he didn't catch it.
Right. So then they're saying they muffed a fair catch.
So you muff a fair catch, you can't advance the fair catch on a muff. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter.
All right. First down.
5:51 left, and the first down and 10 from their own 6. Handoff goes right-hand side. And about 2 yards on the carry. Massengale on the stop.
Boudin.
Boudin is getting a massive amount of attention here. And he's also down on the field as he holds on to his right calf, which is prime area of having a cramp. 5:31 left in the ball game. So we mentioned before that the McNeil Mavericks are one of a couple of teams. Manor has a lot harder road to try to dislodge the Division II alignment that is right now has Vandergrift still in the mix, which is where Bowie fans would not like to see. But McNeil won their game, or they're well on their way to winning the game against Stony Point.
Yes.
And then you have Cedar Ridge after that. So if McNeil wins out, their chances and opportunity of displacing Round Rock, who they also have a tiebreaker win against because they beat them earlier this year, is huge. Round Rock has a game right now at Cedar Ridge, which we should also be looking at, by the way. And then they have Vista Ridge after that, which might not be a factor. But you still, because Round Rock had a 1-game lead, need them to lose a game if you're a Bowie Bulldog fan that would like to not take on Vandergrift to start out the first round of the Texas High School Football Playoffs. Bowie back in business on a 2nd and 8 from their own 8, running the football. And Boudouin with the carry gains nothing. And that will run the clock at 5 minutes to go in the game. And again, Bowie down 62-0. Bowie trailed 21-0 after the end of the first quarter, and then also 49-0 at half. And then 10 more points on the board.
Round Rock beating Cedar Ridge 48-7.
Not shocked by that. And then Round Rock still has Vista Ridge. Host Vista Ridge, which will be maybe the deciding factor of who ends up in Division II. The run is a 3-yard loss out left-hand side by Bowie, actually make it 2 yards. It's 4th and 10 now for the Bulldogs, with 4 minutes to go at their own 6. Polito,
12th punt of the game,
to kick it away. And he will get this one and angle at right-hand side. It's short. In fact, it's so short it hits the 25-yard line and takes a horrible bounce. Bulldogs will touch it up at the 23-yard line, their own 23, with 3:47 left in the ballgame.
Well, if it makes you feel better.
Nothing. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you're going to say.
We beat a team 73-0 in high school.
Who?
We did.
Who's we?
Our high school. When we played.
We went to the same high school?
No, we didn't go to the same high school.
Okay.
If we did, you would have won 73-0.
Oh, well, how does that make me feel better?
I'm just saying, this is not going to be the worst score you've ever been around.
That does not make me feel better at all. I don't know what you're trying to do.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying your broadcast partners put more points up on a team than this.
It doesn't matter to me at all. It doesn't hit my soul in the least.
Well, it should hit your soul.
It doesn't at all.
It should.
Land up the middle with the carry, and
this is bad, but it may not be worse.
Marginal gain. And that by Ben Kersan, as he's going to get the majority of the carries here to round out the game.
Well, here's the good thing. It seems like Coach Salazar is slowing down the play calls coming in.
There's plenty of timeouts and time. Kersan will be your lone back out of the right-hand side. Now you also have a new quarterback in.
Yes.
This is Brett Skinner, who is actually a receiver,
Oh.
backup receiver, and he will run the football as he tucks it in.
He loses his helmet.
And he'll get to around the 18-yard line.
Loses his helmet.
He lost his helmet in the process. Brings up a third and around 6 to go here for Westlake. 2:45 to go here in the game. So McNeil on their way to a victory against Stony Point is a big factor. And then we'll see how things transpire as Vista Ridge takes on the Round Rock Dragons next week. And that could very well be how things land and who takes on whom by district round of the Texas High School football playoffs. Handoff goes left-hand side. That for really no gain of the play. Brings up 4th and 6 for Westlake. And
they'll stay out.
They're going to stay out there.
Max Hinojosa got nothing, no gain. Good defensive stop up the middle there on the right side of the defensive line for the Bowie Bulldogs.
So Hinojosa will come out and Crisson will come back in. That running back to the left-hand side, trips right-hand side, one left-hand side, and it will be a keeper. Near side sideline, and then brought down around the 22-yard line on Skinner's run on the keeper. And on a 4th and 5, he'll lose on the play, and it'll be a turnover on downs by Westlake with 1:33 left in the ball game, and Bowie again down, and they've been down all game long. They were down 21-0, 49-0 at half, 21-0 at the first quarter. It has been all Chaparrals, 62-0.
Yeah.
And the only shocker for us, Steve, is not the fact that Westlake is winning this football game.
Okay.
It's the way they won, especially in that first half, with the level of intensity.
Yes.
Just seen here from the press box. What do we know? I mean, we're not on the field, but a little different body language and everything else that we've seen during the course of the year.
Yeah.
It will be a low snap. Handoff goes out left-hand side. In this carry by Isaiah Mims, number 23. No gain.
That
We're
went
inching up on a
east-west.
minute to go. A little east-west. Not as much north-south as we've seen in the past.
No north-south.
And once again, Bowie will be more than likely held scoreless in this game, Steve. And they have not scored against Westlake now in 3 consecutive games. And you can go back to 3.5 games where they have not scored against Westlake. A score of any kind. Mims on the run again will gain maybe to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe.
Bring up a yard more on top of that. Bring up a 3rd and 9 situation. And one more play if Bowie elects to. They don't have to.
That's correct.
I would elect not to.
Well, a better second half, if you look at it that way. But that's a small consolation, given 52 points in that first half. I'm with you. I'm with you, partner.
Okay, the clock runs with 10 on the play clock. There will be another play as Bowie will run it. And Westlake can celebrate as the clock now goes to zeros. Westlake Chaparrals have now sewn up their 4th consecutive district title, with the victory here tonight, and assuredly now will also once again continue a growing trend here for a team that is vying for their 5th state title in their school history. And an impressive win here tonight against the Bowie Bulldogs, 62-0. This was well in hand from the very get-go, and Westlake didn't leave anything to doubt. And at the end of the day, the Bowie Bulldogs have a lot to look at on film, not only from a perspective of technique and execution, Steve, but more about where your heart is and where you want to take this team. And it takes each individual to come together as a group. And tonight, you didn't see the collective really come together as much as we've seen in the past this season.
Not at the beginning. Halftime, I think things changed.
Good point.
But at the beginning of this game, no, not at all. And that's not going to be helpful when you talk about trying to go deep into the playoffs and make a run.
So we'll take one more break, and when we come back, we'll wrap things up here from Chaparral Stadium. Again, your final score from Ebby Neptune Field, the Westlake Chaparrals 62, the Bowie Bulldogs nothing. This is Bowie Bulldog football.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide much-needed life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. In fact, in just our area alone, the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation has granted more than $343,000 to local first responder heroes. That's why at Firehouse Subs they make their subs differently, because their subs can make a difference. And their family of restaurant owners and local crews are proud to continue to serve you hot, hearty, life-saving subs you crave every day. With Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go, it's never been easier to grab subs to go for you or your whole crew. Save time when you order online at firehousesubs.com or on their app, and they'll have your sub boxed, bagged, and ready to be picked up at our designated to-go areas. No line, no waiting. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives.
McLean Family Dental is a proud supporter of Bowie football. Locally owned and operated by Dr. Deidre and Dr. James McLean, we are so excited to be celebrating over 10 years of providing compassionate, conservative, and comprehensive dental care for patients of all ages in Circle C, Shady Hollow, and Southwest Austin. From your friends and neighbors at McLean Family Dental, go Dogs!
The only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's, because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Dee Hanson joined by Steve Foster here on the Vype Live Network. Thanks for joining us here this evening. I know that was not an easy listen the majority of the time, but nonetheless, these are the trials and tribulations that, if at the end of the day, Steve, should, if you really want to take advantage of it, make you stronger. And this is an opportunity now for Bowie, who has to sit through, and this is a tradition I'm not really accustomed to. The other team's alma mater and fight songs. You literally sit there and absorb it. And that's what Bowie's doing right now. But right now also, they are taking a knee, and Jeff Abels is